We're back with Chris Harris, serial entrepreneur. So, Chris, you went to college and you majored in geography.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm laughing because
I am too.
You know, where did this entrepreneurism
Play football or what
develop?
happened?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I was actually in high school. I was a fire explorer. Went to Rancho Santiago Fire Academy, and that was my path, the direction I wanted to take. And for some unforeseen circumstances, that path got changed. And my father's like, well, if you went to college, you'd have something to fall back on. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go to college, and I'm going to go to UCSB. Okay. So that's how I ended up in UCSB. But, my original business skills got developed when I was young. Living with my father, I've always worked for myself. My first job, 14 and a half, wanted to buy a Toyota truck when I turned 16, the ideal, car if you're living along the beach. And I remember getting a job at a pizza store and making the dough. And after 2 days, I was just, I hated the job. I came home and I grumbled. And my father, after the third day, he's like, I don't want to hear you complain anymore. If you don't like it, move on. Better yet, why don't we develop a business plan for you to go out and make money on your own? And at the time, there was a lot of construction going on, and he just said, well, why don't you go out and wash windows? So that's what I did. And I was making good money under the table, had my own hours, had my little planner, had to go out and leave flyers on everyone's doors and their cars and market the business. And by the time I was 15, I had a scooter, a moped with the poles on the side and the squeegees. And did that till I was 16. And then about that time, things started slowing down in the business end, in Orange County. This was back in the early 90s, and a lot of businesses were downsizing. And a lot of small businesses were moving into their homes, home offices. So I started offering a moving company to these individuals. So my dad, wasn't old enough to rent a vehicle, so my dad would go out and rent a U-Haul truck or a truck, a Ryder truck, and then he'd meet me around the corner. I'd jump in with my friends. We'd go move people's offices. And that's where I learned early on the skills to sell your services, but also to offer that good customer service, the follow-up,
Did you get a truck? Did you?
No. Never, it wasn't like, a big company. It was small.
No, your Toyota truck.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, you bet. Absolutely. That was, that was the fruits of my labor. I learned early on, you market your business and you do the follow-through and the customer service, and you end up making some money. So absolutely, I bought a truck and surfboards and trips, and it was small money, but the more important thing, it gave me flexibility, and I learned early on how to deal with people, interact and sell a service. Going into UCSB, the same thing. I worked for a valet company, and me and my friend, decided we could do it better, and we started a valet service in college. And from there, we realized that a lot of the caterers were hiring security guards for the special events, and our crew was always getting into conflict with security. So one of the special events coordinators said, why don't you start your own security business? You could do the valet, the traffic coordination, and the security. And we hired a manager because you have to have like 4 years of experience in the security industry before you can start a security company. And we did that, and did that for about 4 years.
That paid for your college?
Yeah, it helped
spending
pay.
money.
No. At that time, I was pretty grounded. I realized, you got to put money away. And one thing I've learned is that in business, it's a domino effect. One business opportunity can lead off to another. And that's why no matter what you do it to your best of your ability, because you never know who you're going to meet. You can't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to go into business, or I'm going to be successful at what I do. It's past history of how you treated people and how you've fulfilled your requirements through your business interactions. We got in the shredding industry because one of our high-end valet security clients thought that someone was going through his trash. And it was a big telecommunications company at the time, and he hired us to put our security guards on 5 different buildings that he occupied, and he wanted to check to see if they were going through their trash, because they were strip cutting in mass quantities, putting it in garbage bags and just dumping it in his trash. And we thought he was crazy. This was in '96. And sure enough, one night, middle of the night, we caught these guys going through their trash, dressed in all black. Got a search warrant that night, went to their hotel room, These guys were surfing during the day and dumpster diving at nighttime. And, through other circumstances, we were able to get in the shredding industry from that.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more on Greater Good Radio.